Some of you guys that follow my Instagram may remember back about 8 months ago or so, I put up a post saying I was ready to invest some money back in my golf game. Had a couple of really good days at the shop. Where do people suggest I blow some money? And so some people said, invest in golf lessons. You'll get better at golf, make the channel better. And that made a lot of sense. But I was already taking lessons, I still take lessons, not as often as I should, but I do. So I was trying to find somewhere else to invest some money. And so what I came up with is the Motivo golf mat. Recommended by Mr. Short Game. It's a great mat, and I figured it would give me a lot of time to practice. Now, I actually got this mat in back in Thanksgiving. I'm filming today on May 5th. So I've had this thing for about 6 months. I've had plenty of time to work with it, plenty of time to use it. And so now I feel like I'm ready to actually give my opinions on it now that I've spent some time working with it. So one of the first things you'll notice is how thick this mat is compared to some of the others out there that are really thin and can really hurt your wrist and hands if you're, say, on concrete, if you're in your garage, or if you put it in your house and you have a hard floor. It can really mess up your hands. Now obviously I'm using it in my backyard, and so that makes the ground kind of soft and a little lumpy and a little uneven, but that's not the mat's fault, that's my backyard's fault. This mat also has the dual turf, so it's got the thin side and it's got the thick side, the rough patch. At first when I got it, I'd pop the ball in the rough patch and I'd hit it, and it didn't really seem like it was doing much, like it wasn't really holding the ball back. It didn't really feel like rough. So in my head, when I first got the mat, I kind of thought that I had wasted like 1 foot of my mat by getting this rough patch that I was never going to use. Once I started practicing the short game in the yard, I started noticing that the fluffy rough section was not giving me the same action that I was getting out of the fairway section. The ball goes further, you get cleaner contact, all that good stuff that you would expect from a fairway lie, and the rough really does hold you back. Like, you do have to swing much harder to get that ball to come out of the rough and make the same pitch shot that you would make from the shorter section. So I'm actually glad that I have that rough patch on there, even though for a while I kind of regretted it because I didn't really get it until I started practicing short game at home. And now I'm really glad I have it because it really does help. So other mats that I've used in the past, whether it be at Topgolf or taking lessons or at the local driving range, I've noticed that they leave a green plastic film on the bottom of the golf club, and so that has to be an amount of plastic coming off the golf mat if it's leaving it on the golf club itself. So it has to just kind of be tearing up the mat to some extent, and I'm sure if you give that enough time, it will actually start to wear holes in the mat, like I've seen at some of the places that I've been where their mats are just completely beat up. This golf mat's laid out here in the sun for 6 months now. It's been rained on, it's been stormed on, my backyard floods, it's been completely underwater. I'm in Florida, it gets sun-baked every day. And check this out. I mean, it still looks brand new. Color's still bright. The grass is still in great condition. So I'm normally not the guy that does product reviews. I don't feel like I'm good enough at golf or know enough about the game to really tell you what's going to benefit your game. But I can tell you that compared to other mats that I've used in the past, this thing is absolutely great. It's cheaper than a lot of other options. They give free 2-day shipping, so I got it in immediately. And other than that, this thing has just been absolutely amazing. If I had to buy a new mat tomorrow, I would buy the Motivo mat. This mat was also recommended to me from Mr. Short Game, and that guy knows his stuff. So if he thinks it's a good mat, I have to back that up. I'm completely satisfied with this. Been one of the best purchases I've ever made for golf. Alright, so I do want to say that if you're gonna purchase a mat, get a big one. I've had one of the small little 1 foot by 6 inch mats. The problem with that is your grass sticks up, and then your mat sits on top of the grass, and then the ball sits on top of the mat. So you're actually hitting a ball that's like this much higher than it's ever actually going to be practically in real life. Having a larger mat allows you to stand on the mat level with the ball, so that you're actually practicing hitting the ball where it should be, and that's going to help you create, better practice. It was really screwing me up for a while playing on a little tiny mat. It was a lot of work having to move the mat every time I struck the ball. I'd have to go get the mat, put it back, get it set, put a ball on it, hit it. The ball's way above my feet, which is really bad practice. So having a bigger mat allows me to stand level with the ball and get better practice out of what I'm doing. Other than that, folks, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you do. Get down in the links below and you're going to see my Instagram, and I'll also leave a link to the Motivo mat. This is not sponsored content. I paid full price for mine and I absolutely enjoy it. If you're in the market for a mat, this is the one to get. So go check out their link down below. And other than that, guys, see you in the next video.